Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Macon-Bibb County Committee, the whole regular meeting. Today is January the 9th. We're a little bit past the hour at 9:10, giving everyone a chance to get here safely in the rain. Looks like everybody has arrived. Commissioner Bronson will not be with us today. He is traveling out of state today on business, but I'm sure he's watching in. So we're going to go ahead and begin our meeting with a call to order and start with an announcement we have. We had at least one announcement today with road closures due to a filming, and I'll ask Ms. Adriana Beavers to come forward to tell us about that.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mayor Miller, Macon-Bibb County. We have an exciting film project that has come to town. It is Netflix's The Piano Lesson. So as part of that, they're doing some road closures to really get a feel of the Macon-Bibb County and what we have to offer as a filming location. So this week, there were some closures on Bay Street on Monday, and there will be some closures on Roth Avenue near Hindley for Wednesday and the early part of Thursday. So just plan your commutes accordingly. And we look forward to seeing this come out on Netflix. Thank you.
And Ms. Beavers, can you tell us when we're going to have our meet and greet with Denzel Washington?
Sir, I don't know. My fiance is actually named after Denzel Washington. So I was trying to get his mama back in town for it, but I'm not sure we've been able to schedule that.
Okay. Well, we just need at least one invite. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And it's wonderful. I think I like the original film version better, but it is wonderful. And I actually saw, the service station down here going into Central City, Carolyn Creighton Park. I actually saw that in there, and I'm sitting there, telling them that's down to. It was exciting to see those places in there that are familiar to us.
It was. I had the pleasure of traveling to Atlanta to see the premiere there at the Theater Plaza with Dr. Thelma Dillard for a premiere with the film folks, and we enjoyed the musical. Certainly showed Macon several times. If you see the Capitol Theater, of course, that was in there, as well as the area on and Third and Popular there that they did into a ice cream shop there. So it was a good promotion. I know that a lot of people see it and it's still out there, so I hope that people continue to enjoy it and look for Macon in there. So thank you for bringing that today, and we continue to do a lot of great things in filming and Macon, and I look forward to many more.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we're going to move on to the approval of the minutes. This is the approval of the minutes from our November the 14th, 2023 meeting. I get a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Wynn. Get a second. Second by Commissioner Tillman. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda next Tuesday. We have appointments to authorities, boards, and committees. Today we have the resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to appoint and reappoint William Z. Wilson to serve as a member of the Macon-Bibb County Defined Contribution and Deferred Compensation Plan Administrative Board. Mr. Wilson is here today. If you don't mind standing up, sir, we can all see you. This is a reappointment. He's done a good job on our board, and we'd like to reappoint him. At this time, I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Howell, second by Commissioner Lucas. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously and will be sent to consent agenda as well. We're going to move on to grants, and we have several of those today. Item 5A is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the acceptance of the Judicial Council of Georgia, American Rescue Act plan for calendar year 2024-25 and the approval of $483,092 with no local match awarded to the Macon Judicial Circuit. This is one of many that we have approved, and we're excited to get these funds in for our Macon Judicial Circuit. So at this time, I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark, second by Commissioner Wynn. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Item B is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the acceptance of fiscal year 2024 Georgia Gang Activity Prosecution, which is called a GAP grant, from the Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agencies in an amount of $29,000 with no local match required to be used by the Bibb County Sheriff's Office to fund the expansion of the Formalytics platform. That's a lot to be said. With no local match, $29,000. This is a digital program that actually tracks those that commit crime from the beginning to the end and the successful prosecution of that. So this is an expansion of that program with no funds coming from Bibb County. So at this time, I entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Jones, second by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. If no further questions, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries, will be sent to consent agenda next Tuesday. Item C is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the acceptance of a 2024 Urban and Community Forestry Trees Across Georgia grant from the Georgia Forestry Commission in the amount of $253,150 with no local match required to plant 455 trees to reduce the effects of urban heat islands in Macon-Bibb County. Typically, we call for a vote, but I see Ms. Wimberly Treadwell here and our Director Parks and Beautification, Mr. Michael Glisson here, who's worked hard. So if you don't mind coming up to the podium there, tell us how excited you are about this grant and why we should accept that today.
Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm delighted to be here. It's not often that you get 455 trees just basically handed to you. The federal government released a program to plant trees under the Biden administration, and Georgia decided to implement their own grant process to award those federal funds. Michael jumped right on it, and it was such an interesting grant.
Ms. Treadwell, if you don't mind, if you just move that microphone a little bit to your mouth so the people at home can
I'm
hear you.
sorry.
No problem.
I'm so sorry. It was a very interesting grant cycle because to start the grant, they had a map of census tracts that were underserved, and you needed to plant the trees in these areas to get full money, no match. And the grant, we picked 6 sites based on community input. East Macon Park, which will be Bicentennial Park, the Davis Homes, Martin Luther King School, L.H. Williams School, Linear Park. Am I leaving one off? So we will be planting the trees. These are not saplings. These are trees. They have to be 7 gallons. And so it will be a very exciting project. We had community input. The grant also covers fertilizer, maintenance, and watering for a year. So it's a real exciting grant. We can't wait to get started.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm not sure if Mr. Glisson has anything to add to it.
Just to add to what Wimberly said, L.H. Williams School, Maddie Hubbard Park, Linear Park, Jefferson Long, Bicentennial Park, and we're actually working with the Macon Housing Authority to plant some trees at Davis Village. But again, it's a reimbursement type grant. County pays up front, we're reimbursed for all the expenses. And again, it's just meant to plant trees in underserved communities of town, and those areas are kind of dictated by the census. It's a computer generated thing that, you can plant here but not here and things like that. So it's meant to plant trees in disadvantaged areas of town.
Well, we appreciate the hard work it took to applying for this grant and bring it to our attention and everything that you did to bring it to our community. Commissioner Wynn, you have a question?
Just a little question. Thank you so much for identifying the locations. I didn't see it in the grant when I was reading it, but thank you. Do you know what kind of trees those will be? Are we going to have any cherry blossom trees added?
Georgia really dictates native trees, and so most of the trees that will be planted will be hardwoods. They did include an edible forest in the grant. So the edible forest allows for pecan trees, figs, persimmons, and so we look forward to maybe establishing some edible forests within our parks.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lucas.
Thank you. How bad is the community as far as the heating up of the warming of our community? Maybe and another question, is the tree commission or tree board still operating, and did they have any input into this, or will they have any input as far as the operation or implementation of this grant?
Well, to answer your first question, well, let me start with the tree commission. I will say we haven't met in a while. We had some fall vice president, and we're looking for a new chair for that committee. But to answer your question, they didn't really have a whole lot of input on this, just because we've it was pretty straightforward, the grant itself, and we were kind of, Georgia Forestry kind of dictates again that you have to plant native trees. So I work with Wimberly, Lori Fickling, also two great landscape architects, and we kind of just put plans together. But truthfully, the tree commission is something that I wanted to talk with you or mayor about at some point. That it's a great group, and we have people that are actively participating, but at the same time, it's people that don't really know a whole lot about trees. And I think that having a group that kind of requiring a little bit of some kind of background knowledge would be helpful moving forward when deciding those members of that committee. But yeah, it's been helpful. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think that's important, and I'm glad to hear that, there's some work that's going to take place. I know there are just lots and lots of boards and commissions that the administration has to deal with, but that is one because some years ago, there were some studies, some canopy studies done that showed we were just burning up here and by burning up, I mean that we were paving over so much of our space until we were increasing the temperatures that people have to deal with, and it's dangerous. So the tree board, it was tree commission, that was one of their goals, and that was to kind of make recommendations as to how we could push back on that. I'm glad to see this. And are you saying that this will be a part of the solution for Macon-Bibb?
Yes, ma'am. That's really the purpose of this grant, is to kind of reduce that urban heating that trees can help reduce. And again, they wanted to gear this towards disadvantaged communities. So I mean, I think it's a win-win. But yeah, and actually, as far as the tree canopy study that we've done a while back, we used volunteers to do that. It was a couple of years ago. We were actually above 50%, which the Arbor Day Foundation says is kind of your goal. And it actually allows us to be a tree city of the world. So, I mean, we're headed in the right direction. So, hopefully, this will keep pushing.
Are there any, what are some of the rules and regulations as far as developers? And maybe this is a question for another day, but as far as developers and how many trees they have to leave in place, or where?
We have that was something that we actually did a year or two ago. We updated the Arbor, the ASM, the Arbor Specifications Manual, and it says in there, in Macon-Bibb County, we want you to plant native trees. We want you to plant trees that are, that are going to reduce heating and things like that. So, I mean, there are specifications in that manual that, I mean, I'd be glad to share with the committee if needed.
Yeah, who ensures that developers adhere to that?
I wish I could answer that. I'm really not sure.
That's an important question, so it really does need to be, there needs to be an answer. Thank you.
And just
Thank
to answer
you.
Commissioner Wynn's question about cherry trees, we are working with the Fickling Foundation very soon. They're wanting to get the cherry blossom trail revitalized, so hopefully that'll happen.
That's why I asked about it, because we need to replant some of those trees.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Howell, please.
Yeah, to address Commissioner Lucas's question, planning and zoning oversees site plans. When developers do stuff, that's part of your site plan. That's part, and you have to meet the landscape qualifications when you do. Now, whether that needs addressing or not, I wouldn't say, but I do know that that's part of planning and zoning and getting your building permits and stuff.
Books. And I think you need to revisit from time to time, because this is a critical issue with climate change and all of the things, and we might think that we don't fit, but we do. We're all a part of this too, so we need to, that's one of those progressive issues that we need to be about. I'm glad to know that you're working, and appreciate and applaud you for getting this grant.
Thank you. At this time, we entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark, second by Commissioner Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries, will be sent to consent agenda. Thank y'all for being here today. Going to move on to additions or changes to the Macon-Bibb County Code. We got two items today. Item 6A is a resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to amend Schedule 9 as referenced in Section 28-17 of the Macon-Bibb County Code of Ordinances relating to speed zones and speed limits in Macon-Bibb County to add 5 school zones. Just a little information on these school zones. When doing the research for all the school zones, it was learned that in the past, there were not specifically designated speed zones at some of the schools, so we had to go back and make sure that we do have designated school zones. Just an oversight. I think new schools, a couple of schools moved or changed locations, so this is just something to kind of clean up that code of ordinance, and that's the purpose of this right here. So we've listed all the information in your materials, and at this time, I'll make a motion for approval. Can we get a second? Second by Commissioner Howell. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Item B is a resolution requested by several commissioners, and I think there's several co-sponsors, but I'll read it and then let someone talk on it. This is an ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission amending a portion of 2819 of the Macon-Bibb County Code of Ordinance to set the maximum speed on Ingleside Avenue between Vista Circle and Riverside Drive at 25 miles per hour. It was sponsored by Mayor Pro Tem Seth Clark, Commissioners Mallory Jones, Commissioner Lane Lucas, and possibly others. This time I'll ask Mayor Pro Tem Clark to get some information on that.
Yeah, this came to my attention from input from a number of residents that live along the Ingleside corridor and a number of business owners inside Ingleside Village. The speed limit right now fluctuates between 35 and 25 a number of times. And I think when those speed limits were set, the village had less foot traffic. The residential areas had not been weren't as dense. And there's residential on either side of Ingleside Village along that whole corridor. So they've requested that we look at speed calming, and we came up with this solution with Commissioner Lucas and Commissioner Jones and some of the neighborhood leaders. Both neighborhood associations have been talked to about this, and they are approve of this as well.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Clark. So this time, Commissioner Lucas?
Yeah, the Pedestrian Safety Review Board has received a number of requests from neighborhood associations to look at reducing the speed on a number of streets. We know that it's a slow process, but we just encourage adoption of this and also encourage others who are working with neighborhood associations to submit recommendations as to other places, because one of the goals of Complete Streets and Vision Zero, which we all approved, one of the goals is to reduce speeds in neighborhoods, and not just this neighborhood, but any neighborhood where lowering the speed would bring about greater safety. The research shows that the lower the speed, if, heaven forbid, there's an accident where someone's hit by a car, the lower the speed increases the chances that that person will survive. So we endorse this.
Commissioner Wynn?
Yes, I'm all in favor of this. I wish we had 25-mile-per-hour speed limits in all our residential areas. I just want to make sure that we have a way to monitor this, because you can lower the speed limit to 25, but if nobody pays attention to it, nobody suffers from breaking that law, then they're going to keep doing it. So I hope we have something, or we can put something in place that we can enforce it.
Okay, thank you for that information. Appreciate everyone that sponsored and co-sponsored this legislation. So at this time, we entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. Get a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries and be sent to consent agenda. Item 7 is contracts and purchase order approval. This is item 7A is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission ratifying the issuance of purchase orders to Ken Stereo Video in a total amount of $230,319.78 and authorizing the mayor to approve the issuance of purchase orders to Ken Stereo Junction in an amount not to exceed $170,554 for renovations to courthouse audio-visual systems to be paid from the 2023 Accountable Court American Rescue Fund plans. This time we entertain a motion for approval. Motion by Commissioner Lucas, second by Commissioner Jones. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and will be sent to consent agenda. Going to move on to an item for dedication. I believe this dedication is something requested by Commissioner Tillman. It's 8A, a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission to amend the name of Frank Ray Boxing Arena at Freedom Park to Frank Ray Montgomery Brothers Boxing Arena in honor of Michael, Malik, and Mikhail Montgomery. Commissioner Tillman, you want to speak about that, sir?
Yeah, they actually called me this morning. Everybody's like, "Are we going to be meeting?" So I told everybody, the government doesn't shut down. So, I don't know if we can take up the other issue and just give them a chance at least show up maybe after the next one. If we could just switch these. And then if not, we'll just come back and we'll still address it. Because even Commissioner Watkins just called me, asked me when we meeting, so he's on the way. Because he wanted to be a co-sponsor and chime in on this as well.
Well, we'll go ahead and pass this one until we come out of executive session, and if they're here, then we can pick it back up then.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to item 9, which is a ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize the appropriation of up to $15,000 from the general fund balance to Shekinah Glory Praise and Worship Center to match funds raised to build a community garden. And I know we have folks there. Likewise, this is sponsored by Commissioner Al Tillman. If you'll tell us a little bit about that, I'm excited about this project.
Actually, Shekinah Glory.
My
As you know, our last community garden that I played a role of was over in Bellevue on Hams Street. And this is like many folks come and inquire and want to know about how they go about setting up food gardens and so forth. And this is just one of those that we're trying to help out over in the district, over in the Greenbrier community. This church has really came in and been doing some good stuff in the neighborhood. I know they're supposed to be partnering with Central Georgia Tech and offering some adult readiness programs. And actually, they're here if we want to hear from them and even just get some ideas on the need and the importance of feeding people in the community. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, when we were out doing the MVP initiative, one of the things we were trying to get the word out and encourage folks, of course, to stop the shooting and the violence, but we realized that a lot of folks were stopping just to eat because they were hungry and didn't have food. And so this is one of those things where we need more of this in the community to be able to help folks. And I don't know if we can allow one of them to speak, and she's here this morning.
Sure, we'll be glad to hear him speak, and I think this also was a springboard from the Brookdale Gardens that we have there.
Yeah, I think we did one in Brookdale as well.
Over 4,000 pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables there, so we're glad to hear from you. If you don't mind speaking to that microphone, even if you have to adjust it there, and let us know who you are so we can all hear you, and especially the folks sitting at home.
Amen. Okay, good morning. I am Lakila Parker, and I'm with Shekinah Glory Praise and Worship Center, and it's an honor to be here before you all on this morning. Our neighborhood garden is a community-driven initiative aimed at creating a space that fosters connections, promotes sustainable practices, and enhances the overall well-being of our residents. And together in having our neighborhood garden, our goal is to bring down the hunger rate. When we are out doing community outreaches and community events, in order to speak to them about their credit, speak to them about their living, or even anything concerning family, you want to deal with the need, and the need is they're hungry. And so when we know that we are a well-resourced to meet the need, we can reach them in other avenues. We also want to engage our elderly as well as our young people in it's exercise, it's getting out and enjoying nature, as well as having fresh fruits and gardens brings down the heart rate. In the records I've seen that Macon, excuse me, I'm a little nervous this morning speaking with you all, but our cardiovascular rate, we want to be able to bring that down. In our African American community, our Hispanic community as well as our Caucasian community. Together, when we do this, we are engaging and building friendship and long-lasting relationships.
Thank you. Commissioner Lucas?
Yeah, this is always good to hear, and I've often wondered what happened with the garden that we approved over in Bellevue some years ago. I'm sure it was successful because we didn't hear anything negative. And, you know, offer you our support on this. I do want to ask, though I know years ago there were practices, rules in place for setting up having a community garden, and the land had to be owned by the person or the person being given permission to utilize the land, and so that there weren't any issues of just somebody going
right.
putting a garden on somebody's property. So I'm wondering from legal if those rules are still in place. Certainly, I don't think they were carried over to the new consolidation charter, but maybe they were just a set of practices for that. So can someone address that to make sure that if we approve this and these folks go ahead, there are no problems that crop up?
Yeah, and before we do
Laborer.
that, Dr. Parker is the spiritual leader. It's her church, and they do own the church if need be. But go ahead, because that's important to make sure all that is in place. But Dr. Parker is here, and they purchased the church over there as well.
Yeah, they own this property, so it's not like someone else's property. So we'll make sure prior to dispensing any funds that all the legal and necessary documents are completed.
Well, I was sure that they had their stuff together. I'm familiar with Shekinah Glory. But just wanted to make sure that there was a set of rules and regulations in place so that nobody else would have a problem, because I foresee that more and more people will be starting community gardens once they hear about this one. And there's one over on the east side, I believe, that has been set up as well. So I just wanted to hear if there was something already in place to guide the folks who want to do this.
We have some, but we'll be updating that policy because we've been in collaboration with the USDA, who has about $1.5 million. This is kind of a matching fund for them since they went ahead and went out on faith to do this, and we're matching some funds. But I think, like I said, Brookdale has been a springboard to a lot of this. Just like we we're talking about the forest here earlier, we met with a couple of those folks, but we're trying to get everybody familiar with the USDA grants because that requires no match on our part to continue to do these, especially in our food deserts across the Bibb County. So I'm excited about that. Commissioner Wayne, did you have a follow-up?
Wanted to follow up. Thank you so much for doing this. This is a great project, and literally, I hope it grows and grows and grows. I just want to know how and who you distribute it to when you have the foods available.
Well, our goal is to distribute to the families that are in need, as well as connecting with other ministries and charitable organizations to be able to help meet the need all across, not just in the Bellevue area, but be a greater need and assistance in the Macon area.
Do they come apply for the food, or other organizations, or do you just give it out?
Give it out.
Okay.
Hopefully, the neighborhood would come and assist.
To the mic. Do you?
Hopefully, the neighborhood would come and assist with that. As we see more people coming out, being a part of what we're doing, then they will be able to pick from what they are also laboring doing.
You know what, I think this is so great because you mentioned the health part of it, and I think that's a great part right there, too. And the old and the young working together, that's a great thing for the community. So, yeah, if the community sees it growing, maybe they'll come help. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you. So at this time, we'd entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Tillman. We have a second. Second by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you.
Did
That motion.
someone find those regulations, those rules? Are they in? Because
We'll ask Ms. Ross.
the ones governing community
I'm not
Because
aware
I
of it.
know you couldn't sell any of the produce, you can't, all of that kind of stuff
Yeah,
needs to be in place before.
right. There's state laws surrounding this, and I can't tell them off the top of my head, but we'll look at that before we
Okay,
disperse
if
the
we
money.
could put
Sure.
together something that's
Absolutely.
easy for groups to follow,
Absolutely.
that would.
And I would further ask the attorney before it goes to the next step that we ensure and put those revisions in there, because that is one of the stipulations that we do not want folks to be able to sell the food. And so if we can look at that one on Ham Street that we did over in Bellevue and kind of share and market it the same way we're doing over in Greenbrier. And just to answer your question, the Ham Street is also our property, and we allowed, if y'all remember, Reverend Lockett and Alfreda Lockett, but we was like into a year, and she passed away because she also had a restaurant over there. They were feeding and giving away folks.
Meemaws.
So that's sort of what happened to that, and there was some big plans for that property over there. But I do need to follow up with Reverend Lockett on that as well. And so, thank you for asking. And we need the attorney to make sure those stipulations are in place, and that they know that we cannot sell the food. It's about giving back to the community.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Watkins, you have something to add, sir?
Yeah, to Commissioner Lucas's point, I just texted to you, Duke. 2013, we passed a community garden regulation policy. I guess it was before consolidation, but
Right.
so locally we had did it, and so
Just need to make sure it carried over.
correct.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that information. Commissioners, we do have a need to go into executive session. So at this time, I entertain a motion. I'm sorry. Commissioner Tillman, are you going to go back to the other or going to wait?
I saw somebody come in the door. I don't know if that's them or not, but I
Okay.
mean, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
Can we take,
I do see the family out there, so I mean, we can take it up.
Okay.
But I don't know if we have to go into executive session. I guess we can and come back.
It's your preference. You want to go ahead and hear it now, or you want to go to executive session first? Go to executive session. All right, this time we entertain a motion going to executive session for consultation with county attorneys or other legal counsel to discuss pending or potential litigation, settlement claims, administrative proceedings, and all other judicial actions allowed by law. Motion to go into executive session? I got a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. We're now in executive session. I get a motion to come out of executive session. Got a motion by Commissioner Lucas, second by Commissioner Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. We're now in executive session. We have one item that we had earlier that we put to the end of the agenda. Item 8A, this is a dedication. This is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission to amend the name of Frank Ray Boxing Arena pursuant to a request by Commissioner Tillman. Commissioner Tillman, you want to address this? Just leave it on, I'm asking.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is, in my opinion, been a long time coming. The Frank Ray, Bishop Ray boxing facility that we named in honor of him is because of the success of the Montgomery brothers themselves. And so the Montgomery family and brothers are here. These guys went from amateurs to truly professionals. I remember many times that Reverend Ray has brought them here when they were 10, 11, 12 years of age, and always going to do Golden Gloves and trying to get funding for them to go. And so they're now professionals, professional boxers, and they are undefeated. And their father, in my opinion, has been truly a father that has guided his boys to stay out of trouble. And I don't know if we have a video, just one of the most, I think it was last year or something, where this guy was, one of the brothers were like on ESPN, FX, and just doing his thing. And he's always shouting out Macon-Bibb. So we'll just share that with y'all.
How are you feeling right now? I feel great, man. Me and coach, me and my coach, my brother, my whole team put together. We had a great camp coming into this fight, and we were prepared. And all glory to God. Thank you, for giving me the opportunity. And wow, we're feeling good. Let's take a look at this monitor right here. You had a great work rate. You were just running your punches the entire fight. You actually averaged 97 punches per round. That's amazing. That's awesome. Tell me about these combinations. How were you able to stay so active the entire fight? The work we put in camp, man, I tell anybody, we got the best team in the business. And the conditioning we put into training camp, it's the easy part. The hard part was done. That's how it's supposed to be. This was your first time going past the 4th round. What did you prove to yourself tonight? I felt good that all this conditioning is paying off, man. We've been ready for 10-round fights 4 fights ago, you know what I mean? Actually be in and go to rounds and get that recognition that I deserve for it, it's a blessing. Well, you definitely proved that you're ready for the next level. Congratulations, that was an amazing performance. I was very impressed. Ray, back.
Not only has he been guided by his father, the gentleman in the ring with him was the coach of the 2012 Olympics, which is Sean Porter's father, who's the former IBF world champion as well. And so these Malik brothers, although still young and still active, they're still boxing, they're still undefeated. I don't know if he brought the belt, but I was hoping he could bring the belt. And Chris, so if we can put that other photo back up of all 3 of these brothers, I just think this is overdue for them to name something in their honor, to be an example of so many folks and so many young folks to stay off the street. And with pleasure, I look to do this. And we've been just working on the name. How do we get the name correct? The Frank Ray Boxing Arena at Freedom Park. How do we just put it all together and just name it? So I think it's going to be, and our attorney, she kind of helped me with this. I think it's the Frank Ray Boxing Arena at Freedom Park to Reverend Frank Ray, the Montgomery brothers. How do we actually name that? And she'll come up and share, because she did some work and some history, because we're trying to see if it's just the inside that's named, but ultimately I think we need to name this whole facility and those guys honor, because that's all that's happening over at Freedom Park. It's an entire 2-ring boxing gym. And when this guy shows up, even now in Macon, Middle Georgia, they sell out.
All right. Well, I just want to say it was a pleasure working with Commissioner Tillman on this and learning about the Montgomery guys. Y'all are really impressive. I'm not a huge sports fan, but it was great learning about your amateur and pro careers, and I appreciate getting to work on it. We ultimately decided for the Frank Ray Boxing Arena at Freedom Park to be renamed the Frank Ray Montgomery Brothers Boxing Arena to give honor to the success of both Bishop Frank Ray and the Montgomery Brothers and the interconnectedness of their contributions to Macon-Bibb County and boxing as a sport.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Lucas, you have something to add? Okay.
I am just real pleased, and I'd like to sign on as a co-sponsor if the major sponsor will allow me to. And a number of us have followed these young men for several years now, and we are very, very proud of them. And I think this is about the best that we're going to do as far as combining the names. But two questions. Are there separate rooms? It's been a while since I've been at Freedom Park, but are there separate rooms that can be designated for the
The two
brothers?
rings are all in one big room, so it's not a separate room. The only separate room I think is the training room. There's a training room, and then with the actual boxing facility, there are actually two rings side by side. I think if they can pull it back up, you'll be able to see it.
Okay, well, that answers that. So you can't do it that way. The only other thing is I would suggest that there be a wall of honor. And I don't know whether that's already in there or not, but a wall of honor expressing congratulations to these young men. But I understand that one of our firefighters is a female boxer, up and coming. And I think that it would be appropriate to have a wall of honor, and it would give us an opportunity to recognize others that come along, because surely they are serving as an example. To begin with, I was not a big fan of totally converting Freedom Park to boxing because I felt like it needed to be an all-purpose gym facility. However, what's happening over there and what I've seen in pictures and news stories, I think it's well worth the investment. And also, it's a career. It's money. These young men are making money. So, you know, and serving as a role model. So I would just suggest if it's necessary to add it as a part of this or not, just, you know, suggest that it be done.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly endorse this.
Thank you, Commissioner Lucas. Commissioner Watkins, you have a follow-up, sir?
Yeah, just wanted to add my co-sign in. If I could be as a co-sponsor, that would be great. Congratulations to the Montgomery family, man. Y'all, I've been watching y'all since y'all was young, and to see y'all stay so committed and have the success that you're having, man. Just congratulations to all of you. I know as a father, you got to be proud, man. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know, just as a, and I'm not sure how important all elements of the name are to the sponsor or to the family, but to me, the Ray Montgomery Boxing Gym has a crisper name to it, doing away with the Frank and the Bishop and the brothers, but the Ray Montgomery.
Well, I'm open to that, and I'm open to working with the attorney, and so we until we ratify it, and I mean just get it right, because I think Commissioner Lucas had a similar concern. So I'm fine with that. Like I say, their success was Bishop Ray's success, but we named it in their honor because they were so young and still pursuing their career. So I would accept any amendment going forward, and let's work with the attorney and let's hash it out for the next meeting, by the next meeting.
Thank you,
and
Commissioner.
get all the information.
Commissioner Wynn, do you have a follow-up?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to ask the Montgomery brothers to stand up so we can give them a round of applause. I'm really proud of you. Didn't know about all your accomplishments. And
It's a total
and
of three of them.
I want you to come back with your belt. Okay, I want to see that and get a picture made with that. But congratulations to what you've done. And please, you continue in your role so that you can be a role model for the young people in this community. Thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to recognize the mom and dad. The dad is here. Michael, if you'll stand, we need to get Michael over there. Michael has guided these boys, and we really, really, really need Michael involved with boxing. Mr. Mayor, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that honor. I appreciate you representing Macon well. Quite too many times we don't necessarily recognize our people within, and we go outside to look for things. So we appreciate everything you do, and I know there's a lot of kids out there now going to follow in your footsteps, and you've been a great role model. So it's our pleasure to do this, and anybody wants to be added as a co-sponsor, please let Ms. Ross know. So we do have a motion and a second. Now the only thing left to do is to vote. So all those in favor of this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously and be sent to consent agenda. All right, I do believe that covers all of our items on the agenda today. And,
Mr. Mayor,
yes, sir.
if I would, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to have a point of personal privilege
Yes, sir.
to address the commission. And if it's okay, I'll do it from the podium.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. To all the commissioners and all the citizens of Macon-Bibb County, I want to share something with you. I've been blessed to serve you for the last 10 years. I want to ask my family if they'll come up, and if Darius will join me as well. Darius, if you'll join me, and Danette and Sindora. And I want to say to each one of you all as commissioners, I want to share some stuff that folks may or may not even know about commissioners and my experience with commissioners. When my mom died, Valerie Wynn, you the commissioner that actually came to my house, and those things, disagreements that we had, you didn't let that stop or bother you. But what you don't know a lot of time is that Darius or Jawan would call me after a meeting and say, "Why'd you say that? Why'd you do that to her?" And I would just feel so bad. So that's just been a great, great experience. Commissioner Lucas, when I told you that I was considering leaving this commission, you didn't talk to me as a commissioner. You actually talked to me as a mom. And you made me feel so good and comfortable about me saying that I was considering and wanted to leave this commission. Our conversations in Denver, Colorado, you open and expressing yourself to me, and we going to Las Vegas with your husband, and Senator Lucas opening up himself to me, and me having to sit there and have a come to Jesus meeting with him and drink a beer. And I don't drink beer, and it's the worst taste ever, but I was playing the role, drinking the beer, so it's just been a great experience, and thank you. Mallory Jones, the umbrella man, who has done so much for me, and folks thinking he's in my district, and is actually both of our districts in District 4 and 9 touching together. It's just been a great, great experience. Seth Clark, I remember working with Miriam Parrish's campaign, and she thought it was a mole in there, and she put everybody out except for you. And I was wondering, who is this guy, Seth Clark? And I got to know you, and we did some stuff walking around with John Ossoff. Man, it's been great. It's been wonderful. Duke Groover, my experience with you, meeting you years ago, folks don't know this, in 2009, I was president of NACP. I went up against your firm representing the NACP, and y'all represented then Green Meadows with the Beach Company. And they spent over $250,000 trying to defeat Al Tillman and the commission. And we met in Columbus, Georgia to settle that case. And John Kennedy, who's the state rep, was the attorney. Folks don't know that story, and that's how far we go back, man. Mayor Miller, back in 2017, before you even became a mayor, you and I would go to lunch often, many times, and you asked me for different folks' numbers and so forth. All my chewing chats you would come to, and people have no idea what you've done for District 9 and the Macon Mall, man. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience. Janice Ross, I met you when I was president of NACP under the leadership of Sam Hart. She should treat me so nice, y'all. I don't know what happened when I became a commissioner. But her husband takes the place, because y'all don't know, a lot of time her husband takes me to lunch. And he and I have gotten along even better than she and I. Raymond Wilder, when I first met you, my uncle told me about you. And he said, you was running for office, and he said, he's gonna win, he know everybody. But I told my uncle, I said, he always comes down here in short pants. How's he gonna win and be a commissioner? And my uncle said, watch and see. And he was right, and here you are. And so Bill Howard, man, I told you this morning, I was always fearful of you flying airplane. Never met a man that actually fly airplanes, and it was you. And your kind and your heart gestures and things that you've done for that Warming Center has been so great and wonderful. And it leads to my friend Virgil Watkins, who many folks don't know back in 2005 was my campaign manager when I first ran for office. And I brought him over to my house because I told him I wanted to show him something in 2005. I showed him pictures of me and his dad when I was 4 and 5 years old. And he couldn't believe the pictures and stuff I had of me and his dad and his dad. And he looked up at me and he said, man, are you my brother? And I said, no, I'm not your brother. But your dad helped raise me, and he dated my mom even before you was born, my man. And so we appreciate you. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'm blessed to stand here before you and say, over the years, this is the team that I came in office with. And if you'll share that picture, Chris, this is my team, and President Juwan Jackson, who's a little ill and under the weather, couldn't be here. Back in 2013, that's the picture we all stood together with, and we came in office. And people often ask me who I mentor. This is the team. This is the team of who I mentor, who I get my information, and who guides me and who've guided me for over 10 years. And you look at Juwan and Darius, who were just high school students, and today is so different. You look at Aiden, and sometimes I joke and I tell people I got to get a blood test because he's so tall, you know. And so it's blessed. I'm blessed to stand here with Aiden, who's a first-degree black belt, who's Sindora now, who's a graduate, a theater major, a minor in Spanish, Dr. Juwan Jackson, who's now the president of the school board, and Darius Maynard, who helps run a great foundation at the Community Foundation, who has always been my guide. And of course, Danette, who's always been by my side, who always tells me, never say bye to people, just say, I'll see you later. And as we move forward with our endeavors and our business, I want to say today is the day that I leave you and say, officially, I resign my position as commissioner. I think I've done my due diligence. We've been asked our PR to share with the media our final statement and press release. I've asked Janice Ross to share with you all and give you all my final statement. And on January 14th, which is Sunday, we'll further have a statement that we'll release to the media and have something to share further. So I thank you for all of y'all's work and for all that y'all have helped me guide this community in doing. And in the words of Danette, see you later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a meeting today. Thank you, Al Teeger Tillman, for that great remarks for everyone. And truly, it's been we'll have more opportunity to share, I guess, on the 14th for this big function that Mr. Tillman has, and hope to see everyone there. So at this time, there's no further business that brings us here today. This meeting is hereby adjourned.